Welcome to B.A.Showoff, the dance lifestyle podcast. I'm Becky.
And I'm Alexandra. And whether you're a dance coach, dance parent, or a dancer yourself, this is the show for you. Come join us as we do part 2 of our 3-part series with Varsity Spirit.
Let's go, guys.
Cool. Watch out, everybody. Yeah, Lauren's coming in hot. Alumni status.
I will say, like, it's been great for me too as a coach because it's a style I never had, and I mean I cheered for like 30 seconds maybe. I was not like I was not a cheerleader. I wasn't. She really tried. She wanted me to. I think I did it for like 2 months, and I was like, Mom, this is not it. This isn't for me.
Back to dance.
So it is definitely very like something new to me. So I've had to rely on my I've had to rely on my cheer coach a lot to like teach me. But it's I think for coaches especially, it's fun to learn. It's fun to learn about. It's fun to get something new up in the table, on the
And it's a nice way for her, at least, to get the cheerleaders and the dancers together. Because in a lot of schools, cheer and dance, they're like rivals. Like, it's like,
I agree.
I agree. Don't cross this.
We hear it. We hear it often.
And for us, that's not the case, thankfully. Yeah. Like, both her and I have been very good about, like, we need each other's backs. And I think that, like, in a lot of schools, cheer and dance don't have that recognition, unless you're Coral Reef. But cheer and dance don't get that recognition from the schools as much, like it's about their football programs, their the other athletic side of it.
Yeah, they're supporting rather than
right. So we are kind of the underdogs.
Cool.
So it's cool to like have that, like we need each other, we need to help each other.
Yeah. You get each other even though you're in different disciplines.
Exactly. And that's something that like as coaches we've always been very much like we've explained to our kids like we need to realize that we have each other's backs because we're the ones that are at the bottom of the totem pole in athletics. Even though we brought our first national championship.
Yes, you did.
But it's fine. But they, at the end of the day, having each other's backs and knowing that like we have to rely on each other in everything, and now we have to rely on each other,
And it's cool because her cheerleaders also go to competition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they, not every school has both cheer and dance going to competition, but she does have that. So it makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
And so now the weekend makes sense for somebody like her.
Right.
Yeah.
Which that's one of the benefits I find of it.
Sure.
Like there are a lot of things that hurt me with the 2 weekends, but I do also see the benefits of it. I do see the benefits of like I get to do this now.
It's like a bittersweet feeling.
Yes.
Because last year at awards finals, it was bawling. I also was 36 weeks pregnant, so I was like crouched down, and everyone was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No, I'm gonna have a baby." But and like, so I want people to know that like this incredible event that we've all grown to love, and whether you competed at it, started working at it as an instructor, but I've been in opening numbers and like backstage black and khaki. Now we're like all black, like we have transitioned, thank goodness.
Yes. I still wear khaki.
You do?
Oh yeah, I love a khaki short. Everyone's always like, you look like you're working at Animal Kingdom. I'm like, that's me. It's comfortable.
So anyways, it's just been really cool. So I'm not gonna say that like it wasn't a big shift or change or a mindset for us too, but I see how amazing again college is, and I want that for the high school kids. And not only like, can you think like your kids will just be better off if they want to dance in college too.
Well, and that's a big plus that we have now, because I mean she's done the game day part. Like,
and I started doing it because of that, because my kids needed the experience. We don't do pom, to be able to get into colleges. So that was my whole mind frame. But
love that.
We don't do poms.
Yeah, and for me, like
it was smart for you.
Yeah, and for me, like it's not that I didn't feel like, oh well, why do game day? Why do a third routine when it was like for just dance? It wasn't so much of that, but it was like, I don't want to take on more than I can handle.
Yeah.
Whereas my excuse with doing it with cheer is like, this is a lot of fun for them. And this is a way for them to give back to the school, which is ultimately what we're doing.
Sure.
We're bringing in school pride. At the end of the day, we're part of the Spirit program.
Well, let me tell you, we have some inside. So do you all remember the intent form? That was new this year, that we were like, fill it out. What do you intend on competing? I think there's a total of almost 60 Spirit programs.
Wow.
So between the 2 weekends.
Wow.
So
way more than I expected.
Way more than we expected.
Way more. I was expecting like 3-4.
We were hoping
you're like top 3 no matter what.
Top 10.
That was my
Medaling.
hope. Yeah. That was my hope. But
So we're really excited about that. And so there are programs out there like yours, and I know that Coral Reef doesn't have cheer, right?
We have a cheerleading team, but they don't go to
compete.
competition. No.
Yeah, and but I still know that you're going to be praised and you're going to be celebrated no matter what.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, and we have great support. So, but it might be something that the cheerleaders would consider, like maybe let's go to the weekend and go, watch and be able to see what cheerleaders are doing in other schools and stuff. So, definitely, it's there's a lot of opportunity for them there as well. So
I think we all understand the whole like, a lot of people are like, I won't be able to watch St. Thomas More. I won't be able to watch Coral Reef and Eisenhower and just whoever that inspires you in your program. So have watch parties.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I kind of argue like it's hard to watch teams when you're down there as a coach or an athlete. Like you're really focused on yourself. I remember the year that, like COVID year, 2021, when nationals for college was, you could either do virtual or you could do in person. And at St. Thomas, we had done virtual. I went down to go work NDTC that year. So I got my Disney fix and I was like, okay, I'm going to go back home during the college championship. And I mean, selfishly, it was really fun to watch it in a watch party scenario. I was like sitting there, like relaxed, and just like it felt like you were watching like Dancing with the Stars.
Well, it definitely is. It works for the D2 because they're done. Yes. So to watch D1, it's like But for D1, we're not going to have that.
She's like, I'm working.
Inspiring, if you could watch some of the routines
during
with the
lunch
team
break.
at practice.
Do you give them an hour break?
Yeah, sometimes.
She's like 10 minutes.
She's not gonna have a choice. She's gonna have to watch me.
Listen, I saw Sammy's episode, and she was like, "I've spent 3 days on an intro," and I said,
"Oh yeah."
You don't even know.
So you're like, I don't get an hour break.
No, my kids don't get break.
Hats off
if
to Sammy,
Sammy's gonna be around,
forget it.
Definitely don't. She, she'll be there from 7 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night.
Do they need to eat? Do they need to sleep? I'm fine.
You're like, we're good, right?
Yeah.
We can keep going.
And then she picks at her food. She just eats like a bite, puts it down, and keeps going. So there's no need for anybody else to eat.
Brain food. Does she have brain food?
Yeah. She'll have a matcha or a coffee, and she's fine. So
she's one of a kind. We love her.
Yes.
No, she's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, the kids love her. Okay, so can we talk about hip hop a little bit? So questions that people have about hip hop.
We love hip hop.
Tricks versus no tricks in the routine.
Sure.
So
there's obviously an evolution right now.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
I think every team is a little different. I'm all about dance as much as possible, as little tricks as possible. But there are some teams that they come out and they're like trick, 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 and then they'll win. So teams are like very confused. What should we do? I know that the answer is going to be mix it up a little and
balance.
But, we want transparency.
But we really want to know what
personal opinion. Can I be personal?
Yeah, of course.
I want balance. Like if it's a wow moment, okay, it works. But for high school, like you can do back handsprings now.
Yeah.
That's in the rules.
Yeah.
In red.
I read it.
In red. But there is a caveat, so make sure you read it. But we don't want to see dancers out there just doing acro and tricks. Like I remember back in the day, it was like, you did 3 head springs. And it's like, okay. We saw it after the first one,
understood.
Understood, we got it.
Yeah.
And so it's a balance. It's the same thing in jazz. Like, I don't need to see 3 turn sets. Again, speaking personally, but I mean, what I want every coach to do is, your athletes should know what they're being judged on, in full transparency. If you are signing up and spending money to come down and getting judged, they all need to know what they're being judged on, and I think that could set you apart and really put them in a different mindset athletically and just grit, just knowing that like I'm in control of half of this. And so with that, again, I guess it is a balance situation, but your question was hip hop specifically. Like, I would love for you to just get out there and dance and intricacies and movement and just dynamics, textures. You don't need these crazy gimmicks. It's like all, you know what I'm saying? Like let your athlete speak for itself.
And I think that when you put too many tricks, like it leaves too much room for and not being authentic anymore.
Tasteful.
Yeah,
tasteful is a great word.
And don't just throw in a trick because you have to check it off. And I think that's something that a lot of teams were doing for a while.
And this is also in our updates for our scoring, but we changed it from skills to like elements. There's elements of hip hop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like whacking and tutting and crump and like
Top
those
rock.
are come on, top rock. So it's, I mean, you think about that, and that is technique within hip hop.
So a lot of these hip hop judges, I know, going back a little bit on the judges, how well versed are they on the like they could have been a hip hop trained dancer and like they trained at a studio, but like how well versed are they required to be
on the hip hop vocabulary?
Yeah, language of hip hop. Like I know people who teach hip hop, and they're great hip hoppers, but like if you tell them what's the difference between top rock and tutting, for example, they won't know the difference, and they're like, I don't really know.
Our judges do, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the answer.
Yeah.
And will I say that again? They're up there typing, and maybe something doesn't come out right. Mm-hmm. Yes, but they're human, and they're watching you for 2 minutes, and then trying to put all of their thoughts on a computer screen. So I want to say give grace, but also I understand that again you're wanting that feedback, so it has to be the best, and we're going to provide the best. So, I mean. Again, it's just a working logistics and all of that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's been poor?
Personally, I think last year was the first time I really put an emphasis on.
Okay.
Like I don't want tricks in my routine. Like it was the first time where I was like, I need to like put the tricks aside. If I'm gonna go up there and do something, I want to do something really different. And in my category, I think I was the only team that did that. Which, I mean, it benefited us this year, right? But not to say that next year, I might come with, maybe another dance with no tricks, and then somebody comes in and swoops that, trophy from me.
It's the full package, too.
Yeah.
And
the wow moments. Which can come from tricks or from movement quality.
But I think that coaches, I think that's their question is, what is too much, and where should I put tricks? And I think that's important that they know the trick should be there if it's appropriate, if it's a wow,
matches musicality.
Yes, if it goes with, like, if there's a bang in the music and you do something cool there, that it makes sense,
memorable.
Yes, that it's not just, hey, let's stick a head snap.
If you find yourself sitting there thinking, where can we put this? Don't do it.
Yeah.
Right.
If it didn't come naturally, I understand routines evolve, so I love that. And then 2 months down the road, you see something and you're like, oh, we didn't think of that 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But if you're just sitting there thinking, like, I want to put a head spring in, where can we do that? Because my whole team has a head spring. I don't know that happened organically and you're trying to force it. So maybe not.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say on that?
No, I'd agree with that. I think the way you put it earlier of, like, educating athletes on the score sheet is important. Like, and I think it was another podcast I was listening to. Someone was talking about how it sounds so obvious, but just like walking through the score sheet with athletes, I think is really important. And again, showing them those moments and separating the parts that might be more specific to movement versus more specific to skill, which might even help heighten the movement quality from a dancer, because they might look at the routine and think, okay, if I don't hit my skill, it's the end of the world, when in theory, it's 2 minutes of a routine, and that 2 seconds that a skill, took place or maybe didn't take place isn't going to be the whole answer for how it's going to score. So I think educating everyone on the score sheet is important.
Yeah. I agree. And I think that it goes straight across everything, because I think for jazz, the score sheet as well, and you're right. Back like 10 years ago, it was like the whole routine was turns. Like you had to turn. But now you don't need to. You just
do an 8 count of turns.
And now you want the movement. Now you want to see
how they move in and out of the turn set.
It shouldn't be all tricks and jump and this and that, because
and you want the music that you have chosen to come to life, and how your body's doing that through movement. I think that's the cool part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I think it's bringing the next best thing, whatever that might mean to you.
Yeah,
So,
I
like,
love that.
is the next best thing going to be something that I'm going to wow everybody by doing absolutely nothing, but, like, doing so much? Or is it I'm going to wow somebody with this incredible trick I have? But it's figuring out what's going to make that specific routine memorable.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where, like, I sat down with my choreographer and I told him that, and that's kind of where he
It's a
took
good
it for me.
perspective. Yeah. And, again, you know, sometimes I felt like this in high school too, that we finally made finals one year. Well, then the next year we were like, personally, we know we're all better because you know the incoming freshman, you know that you only lost one senior and whatever the case may be. But then we go to nationals and then you only make semifinals and you were like the second team into finals. And I want to encourage athletes and coaches out there that doesn't mean that you shouldn't celebrate that. Everybody is stepping up their game every year. And so it just happens to be what your routine was that year. It truly does.
I always feel like it comes down to the maturity of routines. Like when a routine ends up scoring higher, to me it's normally because it looks you know, higher level. Obviously that's part of the score sheet, but like when an athlete can put out a really like collegiate feeling of movement quality, that's when you're probably going to see their routines scoring higher when you're on the high school side. Same thing on the collegiate side. Those routines that are scoring higher, it's just like a different level of maturity that those dancers have.
Commitment.
Yeah. So I think that's like another thing to look at with skills. Like, are you adding skills that keep a mature feel to the routine, or does it feel like you're just jam-packing skills because that's the level the dancers are at?
10 points. It's 10 points.
Yeah. Doesn't need to be a whole routine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that
I hope that helps. But
no, it does. I think that again, back in the day, we would have coach meetings where I feel like more was given, like more information. Like coaches felt like they knew what was going on.
Like at the event, it was like a part of your registration.
Like at the
I gave them.
Bring them back.
It was like quiet hours and all the things.
Yes, but you also walk through, you know, this is where you go backstage, this is how you do it. Like it was kind of like a refresher course. And for, you know, people who have been there for a while, it was, you know, kind of like a little pointless, but you still went because, okay, well, just in case they're going to tell me it's 2 minutes instead of 2:15, that's where I'm going to find out.
That's why she wants it back.
I want to see that routine video so bad. Do you have it somewhere?
We'll watch it.
We've talked about it a few times. It's She Bangs. We're still trying to find the version.
I don't know where. I have to find a video of it.
I promise when we find it, we're going to blast it.
Because
we've talked about it so much that, like, I feel like now the whole world wants to see it.
I want to say that Rosary won first. I don't remember who got second, then we got third.
But she said, stop.
Yeah.
I just told my
ended
dancer.
like in a switch leap split.
Yeah, they went
Somebody ended up in a leg grab.
And I just told them, I go, when I stop, don't move. And
oh my god, it feels like a game that you play like at practice.
Like freeze dance.
Like elimination.
It was a stress. But if I hadn't had that meeting, I wouldn't have known.
So people may not know this. This is going to be probably the third year we do this, but we do venue tours now.
New
and
coaches.
I know that this is like, we send so much information about this event. But it all probably sometimes gets lost. But
it's because it's a lot.
It's a lot of information. And so you're like, okay, what parts do I need to know? Scan. But anybody out there listening to this, and even yourselves, if you guys wanted a refresher, but we do tours on the day of open practices. So that comes out usually when the open practice schedule comes out. Typically around that time is also like the venue tours. Really, really great for new coaches like you were talking. And we get to show them all the backstage areas and what performance venues are, whether you're in the arena, the field house, or athletic center. Even show them the football fields down there where that you can practice. So it's very, very beneficial. Our lovely state director team does that. They're able to connect with their customers, and you sign up for a time. So usually you base it off of your open practice time. But it is fairly new. But I do know what you're talking about. Those
bring it back.
Those meetings, We'll talk to Catherine and Melanie.
You know what it is that you're right. We get a lot of information, and sometimes you skim through it, and I'm like, oh, I'll read it later, because you don't have time at that moment, and then you never go back, because then you get another email about something else, and you're like, okay, and you just forget. But when they tell you like in person,
you're just busy season.
The one thing that orientation meeting is, there is a webinar that is sent, I would say a week, it could be the week of, if not like the Friday before everybody starts traveling in. But that's really what replaced that orientation meeting that you're talking about. It's now all in a webinar, and I always tell people, if you're bussing, listen to it. If you're driving, put it on and listen to it driving with your car, or if you're going to bus or fly, download it, listen to it on the way down there. Yeah. It's super easy because everybody's traveling and got their headphones on anyway. So just take that time to read that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of information that, every year changes, and you don't even realize it that, hey, you have to bring your USA cheer card everywhere you go, or make sure you have your music license right on you, because you don't know when they're going to ask you for it.
So I did want to ask a few questions about music. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. For starters, are music rules, are they encouraged or are they required? Because I know that, like, when reading through the rules, there's not necessarily like a repercussion if you break the music rules. And in addition, why are the music rules in place if the music isn't broadcasted on ESPN? There's always a music change.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's music guidelines to be able to protect teams. So when they're attending championships and videos of their routines are either being put onto Varsity TV or on any segment on social, being able to protect our customers and make sure that if any record label out there or licensor was interested in, claiming that that's their music, we can protect our teams with that. And I know that's not consistent across all event producers, but I definitely enjoy that we have that protection. And this is kind of another one of those moments where there's change coming. We all feel the repercussions to it and hesitations. So even when they were introduced 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago now?
10 years now.
I mean, know that everyone that was involved with those decisions were also feeling the impact of it and probably weren't super eager toward it no matter what. I do think people have gotten creative around it, which is good. But yeah, just remembering that it's to protect teams and coaches. I think the last thing a coach needs is a record label coming at them.
Yeah. Well,
it's happened.
We pay for the everybody buys their music, so it's not like if you're ripping the music or stealing it, you're paying for it.
I wouldn't say not everyone. I do think people are not doing the right thing, but I do want to set the record straight. I do hear sometimes people are like, "Oh, Varsity made this rule," and to be clear, it is a federal law of music licensing that you can't take Taylor Swift's music and her art that she has created and mix it with a different artist. That's like high level, but that's why those music licensing laws are in place, and these guidelines are guidelines to protect you, and not only just from like our streaming that we do and ESPN, like no matter what, even in-house, you're not supposed to do that. So it doesn't really matter that we stream or anything, because everybody's like, well, don't stream. That's not really, it doesn't matter. They can still come after you.
Right.
And so, like, we pay for ASCAP and BMI. Like, Varsity pays for the house music that plays. We have to turn in how many times we've played that, like, just like studios do.
Love that playlist.
Yeah.
All fired up.
Yes,
Benetton, it's always on. I love it. It's
so it truly is guidelines there to protect you. There was a team, I believe it was either Wisconsin or Minnesota. It was not necessarily a dance coach, but she was sued, and all that to say, like, you've even seen it with, like, So You Think You Can Dance back in the day, and Dancing with the Stars. American Idol couldn't get
Jordan
music.
Childs got the rights for the Beyonce song that she used the first episode. I was like, oh my gosh, they have to deal with this too.
So
they're live band.
Like,
it makes
if you
sense.
know people, some people do. Some people have connections. Yeah. You put that energy, time, and effort, all resources, you can go for it. There's ways to go about it, but just like...
So if I don't mix my music, I just have one song, I don't mix it with anybody, I don't make any changes, I just use the one song.
For the timing purposes, condensing it for, like, the time limit situation, yes. That, like, if you were to purchase... I don't even know.
Taylor Swift.
Life of a
Showgirl.
Yeah, Life of a Showgirl. And you're not editing or doing other things to it. Like, you can condense that for timing purposes and take it down for the 2 minutes.
But why can't that be played on ESPN?
For the music, like... Licensing.
ESPN.
Even if, like, there is proof of that. Because we have to show proof of licensing. So even if that is something that's given to the competition.
That goes deeper than probably my knowledge, but just like film and producing, and it's a total different licensing than it is like streaming or that sort of thing. Right. So, yeah, it's definitely way deeper than that, and I think they're getting better, but again, it's just like one of those things where like they're not
broadcasted. It's like sometimes it's like, oh, the dance
because you
looks
wanted
so much better.
I know.
It was my music
because you wanted to be broadcasted.
Yes.
It's like the only event that dancers are on. ESPN.
Yeah, and the music that they play is always horrible.
Well,
nothing.
We can pass on that.
We can pass that feedback.
Yeah. Maybe like find the cover song of the song.
Yeah, and even then, still paying all the royalties and all the things, and I think it's astronomical. Yeah. And that all that to say, like I remember one time I was watching American Idol, and the host was like, Justin Timberlake finally approved this song, and I'm like, if American Idol cannot get, if they cannot get approval, like. What I don't know why people think we can get it. Yeah. So
and does UDA have any, or Varsity have any sort of like, if you don't follow music guidelines, can we tell you you're not allowed to come back, or like what? Like, are there any repercussions from Varsity's ends if you don't follow the music rules?
So you show your licensing. So that you know that we know that you're good.
I mean, I could very well be like, yeah, this is my licensing, and it'd be for something else. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
I could very well get around it, but like, if you come to find,
yeah. So, and I would say like if the event is multiple days, that is when probably steps would be taken. If someone said, "Hey, I know ABC High School is that music's not compliant," and then it's day 1 of the day 3 competition, and we come to you and you show us and you can't prove that you have that licensing, then it would be maybe something sort of like you need to change your music, or you no longer be in this division. I will say that multiple day event, that's probably the steps, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that clarity on that probably of like the repercussion of like,
because
if we come to find you,
and everyone's like, why don't you do that? You can tell from the naked eye that, or the naked ear, that is not like that's the real version. Mm-hmm. We don't actually know that, and
it could be a great cover.
It could be a great cover. Yeah, right. I don't know. It could be edited. I literally, again, that's like, but we're also not going to
seek that out
and turn you in.
We also like, I know people who do get the correct licensing and are able to use the real version in those things and get the permission.
Right. Actually, this has all been coming about on VTV, because one time I logged in and a coach was like, "Why is there music playing on their video?"
Oh yeah.
And VTV is like actively trying to get licensing for the ones that were gone through the proper channels. Mm-hmm. So there are some routines out there that have music,
especially
now.
in our all-star.
So there's a music legal team that is handling all that.
Yeah. I know on the all-star side for Varsity TV coverage, we've been able to gain music rights toward a handful of different producers. So a lot of all-star routines, which also are competed a lot more throughout a season compared to a school championship. But if you were to watch any of the all-star cheer championship routines that are on Varsity TV, a handful of them have music to them. So that kind of gives me hope that like at some point we'll continue to get down this line of it and be able to gain even more music rights than what we already have. And every year it increases in how many more rights they have. Like you said, there's more routines than ever that have had music on Varsity TV. But I think it's exciting to see that some divisions, even if it's not made its way completely to school dance, if it can continue to get there and we can gain more music rights, it's only going to benefit.
Yeah. And just a tip, because I do know that there are coaches out there that may not have a ton of resources, and because it can be expensive getting like a really great, awesome mix from the preferred provider. Sometimes it's custom, and I mean, you're spending hundreds, sometimes thousands. Yep. So depending on your editor and all of that. So again, it's not a perfect science, but sometimes jazz, you could probably get away with a single song. Purchasing it for, what is the rate now? $1.99 on iTunes? Yeah. I'm not even sure.
I don't even have iTunes.
So all that to say, like I kick, sometimes you can get away with that. Again, this is for coaches who are like just getting into dance team coaching and you don't know where to start with this. But I do think sometimes hip hop, just because of the language, and you got to be careful with the hip hop and
Yeah.
just what the content is, the message. And so I do think hip hop and pom are a little bit harder. But there are companies on iTunes, take Jock Jams, for example. They're
Like
sort
from
of
Space
what...
Jam? Or what do you mean?
No, Jock Jams.
Jock Jams. I remember Jock Jams.
Remember like Now
Yeah.
Music,
Yeah.
number 38?
Yeah.
Like those people are exactly what these preferred providers on that list are doing, but they're able to... They've already done everything that they've...
Oh, yeah.
But it's on iTunes.
Yeah.
So some of them have 8-minute long songs. And a good BPM if you're thinking about pom. So it's like... Because they're utilizing that music for like workout studios and
152
Yeah.
BPM.
yeah,
That's my favorite.
Yeah, not 170. So, anyways, just I encourage some people to do a little bit more digging through iTunes if you feel like you're not ready to take that step and the resources that sometimes music can cost.
Yeah. Well, I think now with even with ChatGPT, I think mixes are a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
And you could
saw that on
find
TikTok.
Tell me
Someone,
more.
Yeah.
I saw someone on TikTok had like the song that they were looking to cut. This was probably for like a studio routine. It was like 3 minutes something, and they like put the song into ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT gave recommendations on where to splice
Yeah.
it.
Wow.
And what
Super
music to mix it
interesting.
with that has the same BPMs.
like
I mean,
and free royalties or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Cool.
and ChatGPT, that's the way to go.
Miss
But now
Chatty.
we need Chatty to be able to edit it for us though. Like that's
Yeah.
what I need. is
Yeah.
They can cut
But
it.
at
out
least
easily.
it gives you that one more step. Like,
Yeah,
it
right.
helps
Oh,
you.
it's a help.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great for new
So
coaches.
it is.
Yeah.
And
That
there,
is really
you could
good.
also find pre-mixed songs already. Like you could, out there, there's
Yeah.
already songs that it might not be exactly what you want, but it's a good start. Like
Yeah.
look at this mix already done of
Right.
like 20 seconds of 4 different songs.
Love
Yeah.
that.
So
I love that.
yeah, options.
Yeah.
All right, costumes. That was another question that was asked. So, UDA used to let dancers show midriff, and then that went away.
Sure.
And then they couldn't show it anymore. And so they want to know why has that stuck? Like, why haven't we evolved and allowed for, especially like hip hop, like some costumes just, they kind of need a little bit
You're
more.
wearing your tan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
The
body.
Leo under.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I do want to encourage everybody to know that, like, every decision we make, first and foremost, is about the safety of the athlete and then elevating their experience, whether it's through a camp, a competition, a clinic, combine, whatever. And so with that in mind, and our partnership with NFHS, that's a big one too, but more so than ever, like, you think about the exposure that the brands have. Varsity Spirit, Varsity TikTok, all the things that we do, it truly is, and we can't monitor who's watching and who's our followers, and so it truly is to protect the athlete.
Yeah.
As far as like that goes, and exposure of their, I mean, they're not 18. Not all of them can say, I want this to be exposed. So that's one reason, safety, and then our partnership with NFHS.
Yeah.
And just aligning with them from a high school standpoint. So.
Yeah, they're able to give guidance on, where we can align with all different sports and activities, which is helpful to be able to make sure that, we're promoting dance and cheer.
Body positivity.
Yeah,
all
I know
the-
USA Cheer just had a really awesome statement about that
Oh, they
this
did?
past year of
Yeah.
just pulling forward body positivity and how, uniform choices can be more inclusive to everyone. So,
And sometimes, like, even a Leo cut, we're not able to use some of our
Footage of it,
content
yeah.
and footage that we get. So we're not able to expose, like, the incredible athletes at the event due to some of the shots and some of the things that people are seeing. So, again, it's just that exposure and not being able to control the external. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right.
it's hard from a dance perspective. Like
'Cause
growing
we-
up in
I mean,
studio, we
like-
were like, oh yeah, like that's just what I,
had
wear.
I had a bra
I'm-
top and booty shorts on.
Yeah, I'm going to the grocery store after with my mom.
For me, it's beneficial because I am in an all-girls private school, and
Okay.
if I
Sure.
walked out with a crop top, my nun would fire me.
Yeah. My
So
nun.
for me, it works.
I know,
But-
but I do understand where you're like,
Yeah.
dance. It's just like the beautiful costumes and the cuts and the
And I think that sometimes it calls for something else, and then you have a tan leotard under, and it just kind of like takes it away.
Sure.
I do love the family aspect of UDA, and I love the fact that it has stuck to that, because I do think that it is, family friendly, and with the music and with the I do agree with that, and I do love that, because I think that at the end of the day, like these junior high kids and even the JV kids, they're very
look up to
impressionable.
them.
Yes. So I think that in that sense, I understand. But there are some times that I'm like, oh my
It's
God.
just another hurdle you feel.
Yes.
I know.
And when you're competing at like regional levels and state levels, and you're going to like these different competitions, and you're competing with teams who don't go to UDA, and they have all these amazing mixes, and their costumes are cool, and then you're wearing a tan leotard underneath. It just
I know.
You feel like, oh, it's hurting me in that sense. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to find the balance.
Yeah. And we're not judging you on your like full-on costume, so
Right.
but I know it's like a part of the vision, and
Right.
it's a part of the creative process, especially for choreographers. So I totally understand that. Remember when it was like all the way around from the bra line, and now you're your back can be out.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I know that's a big one. That's a big one.
I got in trouble for that one too one year.
You had to like pull the tights up.
Sometimes
No, I had to have Southwood Middle School. They had to take off their tights. They cut them, and then we put them on, because we
As
had
like a
tights over here.
bodysuit.
As a bodysuit. So upside
That's
down,
very
we cut the
creative.
crotch
Creative.
out. Yeah, and then because the back was out,
Too low.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
And I think,
figured it out.
I mean, you even look at like ballroom, those beautiful costumes.
Yeah.
Like, would love to see Coral Reef in those.
Yeah.
Like, totally. But, we're thinking about the event in its entirety, and obviously just all the facets that it can be shown on, and just, that's really why it's there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope that helps and clears that up. But, wear the tan or whatever body, whatever, your tone is, and just rock it, baby.
Yeah. I think that, I would have said, oh, you're a junior year, but no, I think now you could start your freshman year, and even
I do too.
middle school kids. I mean, some of them are already going to, like, Ohio State has
Sure.
that middle
The
school recruitment,
yeah.
and they love it.
Yeah.
So
why not?
Rutgers just did one too.
Really?
Yeah. Like the middle school specific. It's like we're getting down to it.
Yeah, it's because the kids, they at that
They're
age,
eager.
they love dance.
Yeah.
They
They
want to
crave
dance.
it.
They want to be a
weekend.
dancer. Yes.
Yeah.
So now they're looking, okay, well, college dance. So now you're combining the two. And as a parent, I want my kid to go to college. I don't want them just thinking I'm going to dance the rest of my life, because that's very limited.
It is.
And if my kid will keep dancing and going to college, to me, it's a perfect balance.
Yeah.
So
Love that.
parents are seeing that, and they're doing it. So
Cool.
middle school, that's when you're going to start looking at college.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the recruitment world has really
It is.
opened the kids' eyes.
It truly has. I keep thinking, like, what would I do, and where would I be
my gosh.
if that was around when we were all going
Oh,
through
yeah.
it?
I was so decisive throughout all of high school. I was like, this
is what I'm doing.
every school I toured, I was like, that was amazing. My mom was like, oh my God, it was not amazing. Like I'd be like, they had a pizza shop that you could go to on a Friday night. My mom's like, that's not why you're choosing your college.
They have a nail place right there.
Yeah, everything. I found something great. My mom's like, you got to make a decision.
But yeah, those recruitment weekends, they really are selling the school and the dance team program, and so kids are going, and they're really seeing, this is
Yeah, the
what college is
connections
about.
that they make.
Yeah.
I mean, we see it at the combines too. So
Yeah, and
It's cool networking that they
Yes.
end up having, but I do think it's exhausting for.
it is.
Like,
And
I don't
money.
envy it. Yeah,
I
really
don't envy it
expensive.
either.
No, it's a lot, because you don't know where you're going to end up. So it's not like if I want to go here.
Yeah.
You've got to go everywhere,
and
because
you're
you
like,
don't know who's going to take you.
the offers aren't coming in at the same
Yeah.
time, and
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
And then you don't know if you're going to make it into the school. So you really have got to, try all these different ones, and then
Yeah.
paying to fly to all these weekends, and then it affects rehearsal schedules.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
it's it's not easy.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then these videos with the Common App that happen now, and
Yeah.
Did you like it better with the Common Recruitment app?
Oh,
I'm
I
sure you
think
guys
so.
help a lot of students.
I
that are
think so. I
working on
think
their
it's
videos.
it's a little bit less stressful, and
Yeah.
kids are looking at different schools, because they're like, why not? Why
Yeah.
not just go ahead and apply here?
I could see how for colleges it might end up being a little bit overwhelming for colleges,
Yeah.
because
I know a
it's
lot of
like,
them got
okay,
a lot
now we're
more.
getting more submissions. But for the kids, and
Yeah.
especially since like a lot of those, like, I remember there was one college that had them submitting at, like, while we were at nationals.
Wow.
And I was like,
Oh my
why are you
goodness.
going to do that?
Right.
Like,
Terrible
why?
timing.
Terrible.
Like, you're not even going to watch. You're here
busy.
too.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
just give it like another week or two.
Yeah. Wow.
But definitely the kids they're looking at different programs because of the Common App. Like I had kids who are applying and they're like, oh, I want to go to Tennessee. But you know what? I'm going to apply to Alabama also.
Okay.
I'm
See,
sorry.
that's what we love.
Yeah.
That's what we love about like our combine is seeing that a kid was like, even her family had like a Navy background. She didn't even know that Navy, that they had a dance team, or like, you know, it's just like really cool the connections people make, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
there's that school.
Yeah.
Opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So varsity has a rule that teams aren't able to compete at other nationals, additional nationals. We found that, you know, there are loopholes and there are teams that do go through those loopholes. How does varsity feel about that? And is that something that, you know, they're trying to get a grasp on to not allow them those loopholes? Or is it something that's like, well, it kind of is what it is? And why is that rule in place?
Yeah.
I think from a varsity lens, you look at it like we have the different brands that we offer dance national championships from, and having encouragement toward teams figuring out what brand makes sense for their team. And then I think from there, when you have the guidance of competing at one of those championships, you're able to find that it's a little bit more prestigious then. Like if there was one team who could attend all of the varsity championships and take
And even
home
other
first
event
at all of
producers,
them, yeah,
yeah.
like you're kind of like, okay, this is kind of losing its traction if you know that they're going to be there. So I think it was originally set in place just to ensure that each event had its prestigious name, but also had its own uniqueness to it still, right? So if people are going to every competition, they're going to see the differences and find where it makes most sense for them. So figuring out one path, I think, helps with that.
Yeah.
And so teams who are finding the loopholes and they go as an all-star team to other nationals, you know, then it kind of defeats the purpose of not letting teams do, you know,
So
two nationals.
with the all-star component, there's really nothing in place that says they're not an all-star team. But like they do still have to pay for all the USASF if they're competing at, you know, they still have to pay for all the USASF membership fees, go through all of their policies and protocols. So they've done all that legwork. So I think from that standpoint, it's like, I guess, yes, loophole. But at that point, you know, they're willing to do all of that and still say that I was ABC High School and now I'm that community's all-star program.
Yeah.
To me, they're so different, though. Like,
Yeah.
competing at, like, UDA high school nationals is so different than going to
Worlds
Groove
or
like,
Groove, yeah.
any of those, you know, larger all-star championships that could feel comparable. It's such a different setting that I think I don't see them as competitors like that necessarily, of, like, taking away the prestige from one versus the other.
Yeah.
There's also so many more skills that are legal on the
Yeah.
all-star side. So, I mean, it kind of reframes how your routine can look, your routine
And I think that if you do two different routines, and I think, you know, whatever,
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
it.
Is
But
that
when
what
you're-
some people are doing? Like
No, they
they're
do the exact same one.
Exact
see,
same
that to
routines,
me, like,
exact
are they,
same
Are they
kids.
doing well?
Yeah, well, I mean,
I mean, they're doing, I guess the teams that we know of do.
Because totally
okay.
different score sheets.
it is.
It is.
And vibe.
Yeah.
And I think it's also more of like, I don't know. I think that there's also like a shadiness behind it too, of like, you know, you're trying to do to as opposed to like I want to expose my students to more things. It's a little bit more of like I just want to win more championships.
Yeah.
And I mean I agree. I think it's also like if it's two different routines and we're going to two different nationals, one is an all-star, one is, you know, a school. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think it's like performing that same routine in this, you know, same kind of level.
Like, at least, okay, coming from the Minnesota State High School League, who couldn't even travel, you know, out of state, so
Yeah.
I know their rules were a lot more restricted, but like for the high school team I was coaching, there were so many restrictions in place in that state where they couldn't, you know, be coaching. Like there was only time frames where you could have contact with your coaching team that you were coaching. So I kind of wonder, even outside of, you know, varsity regulations for state associations, what they might have, because
And if that's the route they go to give them a full season.
like even I couldn't even teach the same students at studio that I coached on the high school dance team. Like there was restrictions there.
Wow.
So
There might be restrictions, but I mean,
maybe
they might not even be following it because who's really checking to see that they did the all-star, paperwork or they registered the
I know
right
for
way.
us, we, like, as a school, we're considered a sport at our school, but we don't fall under FHSAA. But if we did, that would be a restriction for us.
Yeah.
Because, and that might be something that, like, there may be some sort of, grouping in other states that may have those, and maybe they're considered a sport and, they're not allowed to do that. But, like, I'm technically, like, if I was considered an FHSAA sport, I would only be able to practice with my team X amount of months. And my season wouldn't be able to begin until, like, August and has to end in February. And, like,
that's exactly
that's
Minnesota.
a little too scary.
Yeah, Illinois has some pretty
Illinois
strict ones
too.
as well.
Yeah.
But that would be assuming that I'm a sport, but dance in Florida isn't considered a sport. But there may be in other states.
But I do remember, I don't remember the team, but
Call them out.
no.
What's the name?
Yeah, let us have it.
I truly don't remember, but it was probably 6 or 7 years ago. I was not in this role, but they didn't know that they could not attend a national championship. And it was turned in. And the following year, they could not compete with us. So we do stick to that, especially if, like, we find out about it. But the whole all-star, there's truly not a rule, I guess, set in place that says you can't be high school and
all-star
and then pay for your all-star membership fees and then be considered all-star.
Right, which that's, I guess, kind of what part of my question is like, is there plans in place to potentially restrict that, or is it kind of something that's like,
not worth
it's a loophole and it is what it is.
I don't know. Not that I'm
We're
aware
gonna,
of.
We're going to pencil that one in.
Yeah, we will get that back.
Well, you know that one year I was called because we had like another dance group.
You were called?
Yes.
Oh, no.
There was, I know, right? All the time.
They make the rules for her, honestly. They're convinced.
But there was we had another dance step group at my school, and they went to another competition, and somebody called it in saying Coral Reef is competing at another national. Now, it wasn't the same team. It wasn't the same dance. I mean, it was like a whole different group.
set of athletes.
Yes.
You're like, are we? I wasn't there.
And that's what I said. I'm like,
Let me know.
Not me. I promise, not me. So I had to prove that it wasn't us.
Interesting.
So that's why I wonder how strict are they sticking to things, like if somebody's like somebody is doing this, because it wasn't me. It was a whole different competition. It was a whole different dance.
It was like another program of dance in your school.
But somebody still
Which
wanted to
happens.
throw me under
Yeah.
the bus, and they looked into it.
Yeah.
So I guess back then they were much more strict.
Which it's nice that you knew you were like, in alignment.
Yeah.
I think that's always like when we're saying these like loopholes, it's more of like show of character. Probably in the end of like going out your own way is only gonna potentially make issues.
I mean, and I think there's sometimes like a naiveness to it. Like sometimes it's like I just want to get my kids, performing more, but
or there's not necessarily their season they don't want it to end. But all that to say, I don't know, like, because again, if they're following those guidelines by USASF and strictly competing under an all-star name, that's interesting.
I think that's what draws a lot of confusions with some coaches too, because it's sometimes
our rules are specifically talking about Coral Reef High School cannot go to UDA and NDA or another event producer. Again, keeping that prestige and finding that avenue of what works best for your team. Yeah. And I love that about varsity is like there really is a place for everybody. And even at UDA National specifically, there's a specific division for you, and what that looks like, whether it be intermediate because you can only practice 2 hours a week, or the resources are limited. There's not studio training in your area, and you feel like this is a better avenue for your athletes. Game day, or spirit program, or all of our other performance categories, which is obviously the Fab Four, I call, is like pom, jazz, hip hop, and kick. Yeah. So it's
that.
The Fab Four.
Yeah. And I feel like I've been I've gone to regionals of a competing, another like completely different competition that doesn't even fall under varsity, and I haven't done well in that one, but I've done extremely well at UDA. Like, it's true what you say, that there's you kind of have to tailor your dances according to what the competition that you're going to is.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So it's interesting to see that some of these teams are able to kind of flip-flop using the same routine.
Yeah. From a regional standpoint, or just
Well, in general. but
Yeah, in general. Like, I don't go to 2 different nationals. First of all, I don't have the mental capacity.
that part,
Second of all,
she's like, to be clear, I'm not
to be
going
clear,
to
it's
nationals.
but there's also like I've gone to regionals where I haven't done well, and it's the exact same routine that I do in nationals. But there are teams that we've known that do 2 different nationals, but falling under still the guidelines of like
the school
they
versus
find the
All-Star.
loophole of the All-Star, but it's using the exact same routine.
Got
so
it.
it's just interesting to see
Okay.
how they're able to do all of both.
Yeah.
That's some tea.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, give us the tea.
Who's doing this?
We don't throw people under the bus. But,
yeah.
We hope you enjoyed part 2 of our 3-part series with our varsity reps, Stacey and Taylor.
And if you like what you heard, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on Instagram. And if you have any questions or suggestions, make sure to click on the link tree in our bio and fill out our Google form.
See you next week.
Bye.